You give me so much time, woman. You give me so much time.
If you don't
Hello,
like it,
everybody.
you don't like
And
it. You can control everything with your two monitor system that you don't have.
I
Ooh. Oh.
Oh!
The tea is hot.
technically now I do have two
Ooh!
monitors, so we'll see about season two technical side. Prepare as the DM just panics and is like,
Ah!
ah!
Data, how did you do everything every so nice and neatly?
Everything's crashing! It's
Hello,
like it's on the
everybody.
first stream!
Yeah, it would be. That would be my luck.
It's okay.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to not tonight's episode of Homeward, but a small Q&A recap wrap of the first season of our Starfinder adventure here in the Nerd Asylum. And hold on,
Bless you.
coughing because it's
that season.
Chris. Is that season? Is this season?
Tis the season
Crisis,
for
yes.
giving all the viruses.
Yes. Almost
True.
got COVID again. Almost, but
Oof.
I save it.
How do you almost
So
get
close.
COVID?
Around somebody who's
Um,
positive and not get it.
That makes sense.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then
COVID
my
chicken.
chug orange juice.
COVID chick.
It's like
Then
playing
just get
chicken, but
you get an
the other
IV
car
with
is
just
COVID.
orange juice for like 2 days, and then you're just fine.
I wouldn't
Don't
mind
do that. Don't do that.
Either way, so this is not we're not continuing the story, but this is just like a small hanging out moment for us to recap things that may have happened, may not have happened, maybe who knows. Just wrap up a few of things that we might need to wrap up and just decompress for all the things that have happened. And I think I do have a few questions that I prepared for tonight for you guys. And the first one, a very important question.
Can I say one thing?
Yes.
To our audience who just rated us, which you guys are awesome. If you have any questions for us, pop them in the chat and I will read them.
I will be trying to do that too. Attempt to.
Ah, my spoon's hot. Sorry.
So, I think the first question that I want to like throw at you guys, that it's a very important question. It's what is the most interesting bug fact that you have learned in this first season of Homeward?
That bugs have blood.
Bugs do have blood.
It's crazy.
Mhm.
That blows my
That was
mind.
nuts. I didn't think about that.
We've also learned that bugs sleep
And
and that
breathe,
bugs breathe.
Yeah, bugs breathe.
which surprises
Which,
me
like,
because I've tried to
bug.
drown a flea and it didn't work.
Bug
Probably
facts.
because-
Let's look up a bug fact.
I have
Just
a
to
bug
kick us
fact
off.
top of mind right now because invisible to the audience is this terrarium, which has
Oh,
a
is it the-
number of
Yeah.
humidity-centric plants and also a thriving community of centipedes.
Oh,
Which
multiple
I
legged creatures, my least favorite thing.
which I accidentally have cultivated in there. And my fun fact about them that I knew just had not ever conceptualized is the fact that centipedes are carnivores. Because any bug that eats other bugs is a carnivore. That's a really upsetting thing to think about, but they are classified as some of the most efficient predators on Earth. I'm like, that's
I did
weird.
not need to know that.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know,
I hate
I
centipedes.
know.
You know
for the
what
record.
other kind of bug is a carnivore, actually? Ladybugs.
Yes. Also dragonflies.
Yeah, I
Dragonflies
was
are
about
the
to
most
be-
efficient predators.
I was about to go
I
off
like
of your one of the most
dragonflies.
efficient predators. It's like, oh, I know the actual top efficient predator because I went to a dragonfly class once.
Oh, interesting. Oddly specific.
I
Other interesting bug fact, bees, when gathering food, they travel up to 60 miles in one day. I'm actually on the Smithsonian website. Fun facts about bugs.
Hey,
how
That is-
far has Kay has traveled away from home? I wonder now.
Yeah,
How far do you
that
travel
just
for
seems like the
food?
most relevant one. Is
I am
that bees
sentient.
travel 60
There
miles.
is a bistro down the road or down the hallway from me that has plenty of food. Thank you. I appreciate that.
It's just back and forth and
so-
back and forth and back and forth
Right.
for 60 miles.
Plus,
I mean,
feeding
listen,
on fermenting juice can get drunk and pass out. So there you go. Solve your wasp problems. Get them drunk.
I mean, Kay is like part of the canceling team of the ship. Probably they walk very often to wherever is the nearest coffee place. He just constantly is like.
Kay's an actual jitterbug.
An actual jitterbug when Kay drinks too much coffee. I
We can
have
probably
another
get Kay drunk.
fun bug fact top of mind, and that is ants will keep other bugs to produce food for them. Not just that ants will eat other bugs, but ants will cultivate aphids, which create they secrete a liquid called honeydew, and they feed that directly to their queen. So there are ants that are ranchers, and they will just keep little aphid farms to produce honeydew for them.
Okay, moving on.
Wait.
Can we
Okay,
move
hold
on?
on. Just I
We-
want to explain this guy's reaction here. I'm on the website under fun facts about bugs. 1/3 of all bugs are carnivorous.
Yeah,
Eat bugs.
Sounds alright.
I believe
bugs
so.
eat bugs.
That's fun.
Because that's also counting spiders, I assume, which pound for pound are the scariest predator because they can eat like toads. They could take down things thousands of times their own size, and they will eat them too, which is pretty rare for a snake. A snake will not kill anything it can't eat, but a spider will kill things thousands of times its own
terrifying.
size and then eat them. Yeah.
So what
Anyway.
we've learned from Homeward is that bugs are terrifying.
We already
I
knew
love
Kay
bugs.
was terrifying because she screamed at everybody twice and
Terrified everybody.
I landed on my
terrified
ass.
everybody. And
And you guys
the
haven't-
first time was a test. The second time was on purpose, not to scare the party, but to scare a monster.
Yeah.
It worked.
It worked.
But it
Very
also
effective.
scared the party. So Kay is feeling a little estranged from everybody else.
I
I
gave
think
you
that
I gave you a scanner. After
I
that.
said we were cool. I think I said that we were cool. But I did. Max certainly implied that.
I think it
Probably.
might be interesting, rediscovering at least for Kay that she can be terrifying, and from where her race comes from.
The other thing I think is funny is I am not dumb, in terms of thinking of how my character would perceive things and trying to be as intelligent as my character is. And there is a perception right now that I've pissed off one player or one character. And the other one's afraid of me. And the third one, I don't know what to think of them just yet. And they don't really know what to think of me, I don't think. But we'll figure that out when we get to it. But I know I've successfully pissed one of you off. That's Kay's thought process.
Yeah, Mac may still be afraid of you. That's something we got to come to terms with probably the next season.
Yeah.
Season 2, episode
Max-
1. Max afraid.
Mac is scared of everything.
Oh Lord, he be frightened.
Really.
That's a perfect
his
title for the
state now.
episode. Oh Lord, we be scared.
Oh, we're scared.
We be
No,
screaming.
scared. SCURD. Scared.
Oh, we're scared.
I don't know. It considering what I'm thinking that's gonna be the first things to go into second season. That might actually be a good title for the first one.
Oh god.
That's
Bring it.
That's unsettling.
Drop your
I like it.
Drop
Let's
your
do it.
suggestions for titles in the chat below.
And it's funny because it's not like it's scary of like monsters, but you guys dealing with yourselves, which I think is scarier.
Oh, it's S's worst nightmare.
We're the true nightmares. Self-realization.
Oh man, the
Ooh.
worst villain.
So talking about villains, who
Ah, damn it!
for you guys, who's at the moment like the NPC that you would consider like your favorite, or the one you're like, oh, this is more interesting for you? I know there's been like many, and some have had more screen time than others, but
Honestly, I think my favorite so far has to be Vohivel. Just because he's like so cool. And I mean like he just takes like, with what we've seen screen time, he just seems super chill. And I love that energy. It's like your crew, you're like pretty important because you work in the bridge. And you're chill.
From like moment one, I loved that Bernari.
Oh,
The
Just
honor,
as soon as
the
you put
communications
that
of his-
otter, as soon as you put the space otter in front of me, I was immediately up with it.
I have his
But-
name.
I also have
Did he
his name.
Yeah, he
somewhere.
remembered his name
Alduri.
somewhere.
Alduri.
Alduri,
Comms officer.
yeah. Loved him so much. Just immediately fell in love with him. But the guy who I work with in engineering as well has been just that I keep stealing coffee from or giving him coffee. Either way, it's been working out for me.
Yeah,
He's super
the
fun.
chief engineer, right?
Yeah, the chief engineer. He's super
I
cool.
think Kumar, that's his name.
Kumar, yeah.
This comes at the best.
I really enjoyed dropping the bomb to Kreltwan and Megan of like their relationship. That shit was hilarious.
I was not expecting.
I'm probably never gonna see those characters again in the same context because they're probably like avoiding this shit at okay. Like
You ride
I don't
want to
talk. I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk to this crazy bug anymore. Like if she saved my life or they saved my life, sure, I'm done.
But they're weird as fuck.
Too weird.
Every time
Too
I talk
weird.
to this person, I get another deep personal realization.
I don't like it.
I am desperately trying to find the note about what plant guy's name is.
Klukwar.
Quar.
Klukwar.
Thank you every single time.
Every time.
I'm so sorry. It's not a lack of
I
care.
figured it was gonna come up, so I turned to my notes.
I just have
I'm
memorized it by now.
I'm so
Klukwar.
predictably stupid. I love
Stupid
No.
Ray.
You're not stupid.
I love the sentient
We
plant.
love you. He's so sweet.
So awkward.
You know,
For like a minute, we were all convinced he was evil.
No,
Yeah, I
that
was
one was
like-
fun too because it was like, how does someone who's socially awkward right now explain to somebody else how to not be socially awkward?
Not.
Like, here are the steps.
Yes.
However,
However, I don't know how to put them together.
It's weird because you guys, each one of you has had with the different NPCs the same kind of relationship, from a forming of relationship. So for S, it's always been like professional to the point. I tell you this, you tell me this. Okay, cool, moving on. For Melodious has always been like a bit of that, like, yes, like formalities, and I like letting a bit more. Mac is like like that. I have to deal with you, you have to deal with me. Okay. And K, it's always like there's always like something out of left field that makes interaction with them being like, okay, I have reconciled things now in my life. Like Flukwa is like, yes, that is right. That's how I interact with people, in a way that I'm not just looking like a still plant that is just there reading in your mind. And
Everyone's professional and courteous, or Mac, and then there's Kay, who's just making everybody question themselves.
there's so many.
And Mac,
Courteous or Mac?
I didn't mean that in a negative way.
That's just a perfect way to describe it, though. You're either professional or courteous, or you're Mac.
Every single interaction with Kay there are strong things said, and I appreciate it so much. There are some strong choices in what is said, and I love that for you.
I don't have a filter, guys.
It's so great.
So Kay
like
doesn't have a filter.
it's such an experience because like I know S and K really don't have the one-on-one conversations because again S doesn't like seek out like interaction unless there's a purpose behind it. Everything has to be like I'm doing this.
Realistically, nobody has sought Kay out without a purpose.
Yeah, and S doesn't really like S doesn't have like these things where it's like I remember meeting with you or I don't know these. Like S is like, all right, I'm gonna figure out what's going on here, but because of the circumstances we've been thrown together, so he does regard Kay in their capabilities as someone he can depend upon. And so when things come up and they're getting the party together, it's like, all right, where's Kay? They need to be here. And so like when S turned to Kay and it's like, hey, do you have my files? Because like I don't have access to them. I just want to make sure that they exist or something like that. And it's like, you're a ghost. And I'm like, I appreciate that so much as like a player. That was so great of a delivery of just like, oh yeah, no, you're a ghost.
Oh yeah, you're not real.
We've
It's not
got
that he's
one
not
entrance
real.
on.
It's
We've
that
got-
you're just a passenger. I don't have anything other than that.
We have one instance of you being recorded and it's you entering the ship.
I mean, also, like,
Don't jump
there's
in
many
there, get
psychologists
down, and
that
come over.
there are psychologists that they are direct. Like, they say things as obviously they find a way to say things not as blunt, but in terms of what they're thinking, they just say things. Like, there's a filter of how I deliver the thing, but I'm not keeping things away from you. I'm just telling you. So it's
Yeah, whatever that filter is, she doesn't remember it right now.
Yeah.
Oh, look at it. Ryu. I was gonna call this Phoenix. I'm like, no,
Trying to
Phoenix is
fix-
the wrong one.
Fix
Phoenix
my
is
pop
on
filter.
fire,
There we
just
go.
for you.
Phoenix is on fire.
He's bright
Yeah.
orange.
I know. That just took me a second to remember, and I was like, "Is one of your cats actually on fire?" And I was like, "No, wait, he's orange. That's why."
So, so like another question that I have for you guys, which, who's, player character PC you're the most intrigued to find out about their backstory, a part of your own.
Kay,
I can't pick you.
absolutely Kay.
Why Kay?
Because I don't know. Like I both as a player and as a character do not know. Which is the case for as a player.
Everybody?
I don't know everyone's. Yeah, but also just being such a socially awkward person as they are, they're in such a fascinating role, and I know that there's got to be a reason for that, and I'm just so intrigued to find out why. And you've dropped bits and pieces of it, and I'm just like, I'm very intrigued to find out why.
Yeah, I have to say K as well. And that's mainly from like a lore reason, because you have a very a very space race, being the Shirin, and that's just fascinating to someone like me who like just takes lore in and like sucks it up like a sponge.
Oh, okay, well, I'm gonna break the mold here. Completely, and I'm not gonna say Kay. Well, I love you so much, Theta. Mac
fine.
would be super interested in Kay's past. Sky, however, Melodious, what the fuck is going on?
That's interesting. I think I think I've been the least secretive about my character's actual past. Very fun though.
I think the ending of season 1 would beg to differ.
We shall learn.
we'll learn. But I think the ending of season 1 is like, maybe Ray's been not as truthful as we expect them to be.
Gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss.
Maybe has Ray been gaslighting us?
Is that that meme like this old guy going out there said, I cannot mansplain, gaslight, gatekeep my way out of this. I need to find that meme eventually. Something
Stick
like
Ray on it at
Hi, buddy.
this point.
Just
I gaslit my way into this mess. I'll gaslight my way out of it.
I mean, from player
I'm not-
understanding of character backstory, yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I have an
You're gonna hurt me,
actual
you're gonna get
note
down.
somewhere that just says, Melodious bad guy, maybe?
Mm? Melodious bad?
Melodious bad, question mark, and I think I'm gonna add to this, Ray gaslight.
The way you guys
So-
just went made me think of the Dark Crystal. Just so you know.
Yes!
Mm.
Mission accomplished.
Oh.
I haven't seen that movie.
What?
I need to watch it again.
I don't know if I can
Haven't seen
continue with season 2.
It's
I think we're gonna need a new DM.
I don't like puppets, so I've only seen it once. It really freaked me out.
It's okay.
It's different. It's very different. And
It's something.
when I was a kid, it freaked me out too. Mostly the dog with the mouth.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That only
wasn't good
makes
with that.
sense if you've seen it, because Saccharine, its entire body is a mouth.
Mhm.
So when it
So-
opened its mouth, it goes like this at the back, and it's a hinge. It's really weird. But yeah.
Hey, who do you want to know more about?
I actually am really curious about everybody except my character. Because like, I'm curious to see where Nelodius's background goes. I'm curious to see what happened to S to make them this very almost paranoid individual that they are. And I'd like to see more of Mac's backstory, and not in the traumatic
Whatever
way.
that is.
Yeah, not in the traumatic sense, but in the what happened before. Like, were they just stuck in this situation? Do they have any choices to be here? That kind of
To be
stuff.
on the ship?
Yeah.
Yeah, so because I don't know how I got onto the show. I know that I was arrested, and that I'm on the ship after
Right,
being
like,
arrested.
Did you board
And that's
us?
it.
Were you was it subterfuge, or was it just like a pirate crew tried to attack the ship? I don't know. I'm curious.
So
And
Let
like
Sky
for
throw some
K,
context.
I don't have any plans for K, guys.
yeah, here's Sky throwing some context. I don't know the backstory. I just threw some details at Sekrin and just let Sekrin go. So I'm finding out with you. I have no idea what's happening.
Yeah, part of the
So every time Sekrin throws something at me, I'm like, oh shit!
I'm in very much the same boat, and that's because I was last minute kind of in this group to be a part of it. Because initially I wasn't going to, because I didn't want to learn another system. But I did it for Saccharine, and because I found out who was going to be in it, and it was going to be more fun with you guys. So I just I was like, what would be interesting? A therapist bug that does food art.
Yeah.
And we love her. Them.
And we love her.
And it's been awfully fast. Like when you said the food art,
This is
I
so
mean,
much fun.
you have no fucking idea how much time I have put into thought about like, where does this fit in everything?
I
Because
never
it's
had
a
to think
hobby, you
about
don't have to
fantasy
force
food
it.
this intense.
No, like here's the thing: it's just like
And
you know how I
the
am
other
in
thing-
things.
I do.
go ahead.
And the other thing is too is because of what's going on with this whole story and everything else, they haven't had time to really make food art.
Not
Which-
yet.
Which in like I imagine in the before times of the ship, they had like set downtime for things and projects that they were working on. But now it's all like,
It's the apocalypse. You don't get free time now.
exactly.
I mean, if you've
Free
got
time.
a parole schedule, I can find that for you.
I probably that'd be
That
a
had to be the
little
best way to tell me that, though. Here's your parole schedule. Get out.
God, that just like the little quirks of everyone, like because it's funny that how of the different like all the stories you guys like threw into me. Some of the things that were like you mark more in each one of you were like the quirks, the things that may like broke out the mold, and those have been the things that inform me so much about like okay, what could be here. Especially getting into your guys' room, I was like, okay, what, why, where, in each place, and I don't know,
Also,
it's-
Sakrine, I did forget about one thing. To go back to the favorite NPC question, my favorite NPC is Squishy.
Oh.
it counts. It totally
he,
counts.
He totally counts. He is adorable. I love
the
having a
best.
second tie or a hat or a watch and
It can
feeding him
be-
coffee cups.
I can't wait for the day that Squishy becomes like a medium-sized creature and you just are walking around wearing 2 lab coats.
How many coffee cups are missing from the bridge room?
I don't know. But honestly,
Free.
I want that.
But one day he's like having his mug, and then the mug goes away. It's like
This is it's just suddenly it's just what the hell?
it's just like my mug.
Ah.
So here's another question that I have for you guys. I think has there been not at the moment. Okay. So who are you suspicious about on the ship? Who is in your sus list for the ship right now?
I don't think I've been very
Well, as you have not sus.
yeah, well no. I'm talking about NPC wise. I don't think I've hidden
It can
this.
be PC or NPC, like who
Yeah.
that is in the ship. PC, NPC, who you're like, I'm sus of you. Like, do you have
I'm
something?
a little sus of Mac. I will not lie. Learning that you stole ships, that's a little sus. But other than that, I'm really, and this is for character reasons. I'm super sus of Megan and Krautuan.
Ooh.
And it's very interesting because in the beginning, before I had memories and knowledge, I was really looking to Megan for being like, you know, my point guy who I will go for. And then like certain things pop up and I'm like, nope, I'm gonna ease out of this so it doesn't seem abnormal. It's in that where I kind of swapped from Megan to Vohivel, which I think is like amazing.
For Mac, I think it's Mac's list is not long on the sus, but it's right now it's a lot of like it's like stuff like Melodious has been weird since like the day you met him.
Yeah.
Like that dude's fucking weird. Have you
mean-
met him?
I don't
He-
think the short resheathing helps that.
It really doesn't. K is weird, but in a way that's like normal.
Approachable.
Dare I say, normally weird.
Non-threatening.
It's a non-threatening weird unless she yells at me and then I'm scared of her. He's totally fine with S, although he really isn't. But that's not because he's sus of S in any way.
That's fun because of the other PCs, S most likely to be a criminal.
S is most likely to be a criminal. other than me, who actually is a criminal. And we all know this now. But PC wise, it's Mac is really sus of whoever that person was that I got arrested with and brought onto the ship that we haven't seen or heard from since.
That is a great person to be sus of, because we know that they exist, but we
know
don't
that they
have any
exist.
trace of them.
We have nothing on them.
Yeah,
Like Mac knows that they exist, knows that they've been on the ship, knows that they were with him, so they're from the Verdant Sun, who is a horrible criminal gang, and they've just not shown up.
because we
So
don't
either
have
they got hit
any,
by the mind wipe, they're
D&D
dead,
oversight, or
or
planning for
Sekrid
season
forgot
2.
about them. There's like 4 possibilities here. They're planned for season 2. They're dead. They got hit by the mind wipe and haven't remembered yet. Or Sekrin totally forgot about this.
I personally am of the opinion that
And
Sekrin
All
is,
of the above.
infallible.
I think
all of the
based
above.
on that phase alone, Sekrin totally forgot.
No.
So
No, it's
After
all
I
of the
bullied
above. It's
Sekrin
like I
into
said, it's
doing
all of the
this?
above. It's season 2 content. The character is dead after they got their mind wiped. They got eaten by
mind wiped?
zombies.
and
yeah,
that is
I'm
all
gonna
because
find
I
their
forgot
picture
the
up
first
on
one.
the board after you guys are gonna show me the picture, and I'll be like, "Oh my god, I know that person! Oh, they're dead."
It's the person that I stole my gun from when I first woke up.
Exactly.
Suddenly, that's
That's
a
what we're
face
gonna
in their
find out.
memory.
But yeah, and Mac is also super sus of just the Verdant Sun in general, because they might be looking for him, but he has no idea.
Will you stop?
Other than Mac, who I as a player am sus of. I'm not sure Nelodius is as sus. I'm not sure if
Oh, I'm the suspicious one.
I'm not sure if
I
it
love that
counts
I'm
as
the
a
suspicious one.
character, but that fucking hallway. One hallway.
Wait, 100% is its own
Wait.
character.
Hold on, can we? I want to add the hallway to my list real quick.
The hallway is an SCP. I will not be convinced otherwise. And it's really scary. That is the part on the ship I am most sus of.
Nuloris then just takes the long route to the officers' quarters.
Avoid that hallway.
Avoid that hallway specifically.
Just pull an S and go like in between the walls.
What?
I'm in your walls. I'm in your walls. I'm in your walls.
Suddenly a
starts
vent
working.
opens.
It starts working in the walls between Kay's room and the room next to Kay, where the padding isn't quite working all the way. It is just like, what the fuck, Kay?
What is happening?
Just
Why am I
bangs on the wall.
vibrating? Just ask, why am I vibrating?
Oh my goodness.
I imagine how Nuloris suddenly opens the vent into the wrong room. It's like, oh no, sorry, I was just evading the hallway.
Sorry.
Fuck off.
That's gonna be great. Just to open the vent in Mac's room, and she's just like, "Hey, what you doing? How did you get there? Can you get out?"
Oh my goodness.
In your walls.
I'm in your walls. I'm in your walls.
So, I personally, as a player, am sus of everybody in this fucking room. But Kay is actually not sus of anyone. They're too busy trying to fix everyone and like everything that's wrong with everyone on the ship, because most of them are coming to her and being like, "Hey, who is this person that I'm supposed to be in the same room with? Like, who is this child? Is this my child?" And having to deal with that with people and having no time to process for herself or for themselves. Will you get out of my popcorn?
Beta, I love you so much. When you just said I'm sus of everybody in this room, I just took a drink and it almost came out my nose.
I am sus of all y'all, including the DM.
I'm sus of
Mostly
everybody.
the DM.
Mostly, and myself.
Oh my goodness.
So it's good that you're sus of the DM.
Yeah, like with that last scene,
Like, what the hell, Severin? All my preconceived
who's to
notions
say?
about this campaign flew out the window.
Who's to say? I don't know. Maybe it was just a weird writing that will never be addressed in any season whatsoever.
Never addressed.
Oh, you mean like the guy that I was arrested with in like episode 3?
So at least for that, spoiler, I did not forget. I did not forget about those guys. I have kept in my mind the burden sound the whole fucking time, just like where they are. What's up with that? Like
Where do they
Where?
fit into the story? Where are they?
Or when Sekren's like doing
Where's
the mind
Rachel?
thing, he's just Magneto.
Where's Rachel?
Well, Professor X, like right now, it's just I can
No,
do it. I can
I'm-
tap into Cerebro.
I'm not Professor X. I'm just like like panic, just like
I can see
Where?
the universe.
No, it's
Um,
panic. It's pure
panic.
panic for him.
yeah,
panic.
it's pure panic. It's like where everybody goes.
Sammy,
I need to
don't
put
What they need to get
people
even a
here.
fraction of our power.
Oh my God.
You're a good kitty.
And also, I'm sus of you. All 4 of you. I'm just sus of you.
I have
It's because we do dumb things every session.
I don't know what is gonna be the next punch, from where it's gonna come. Like what is gonna be the consequences?
There's doing it right and there's fucking it up royal, and we fuck it up royal real good.
But we do it right. Somehow we get there.
Can
I
I
mean-
can I pose a question to the DM?
Sure. Like any question to anyone you
Yeah,
want.
yeah. And then you guys feel free to welcome and question this as well. But on the order of being sus of us, what was a moment from season 1 that we did something completely like you were not expecting? Like you had an idea and we just took it somewhere else. Small, large, I don't mind.
Well, there's a few. The first one, I think among the first things, and it was like literally the first minutes into Homeward, was you abandoning that guy.
Oh yeah.
Completely abandoning the guy. I was just like, okay, that's S. I did not thought about it, but it makes total sense. Yeah, yeah. I didn't thought about this. Yeah. Okay. Another one dead to the list. That is one. Another one that definitely has surprised me a lot in a good way was how nonchalantly honest Mac is about the things he has discovered about him probably being a criminal, and how open book about it is to everyone else, at least of the group. So like that is like
Mac's brain power thought of that is just I could lie about this, and this could end up being really bad. Like I could lie about this,
and I love
and people will be really suspicious about me.
I've been loving that about Mac, how honest and kind of good person he is, even if he's like rough on the edges, very rough in the edges. But overall, just like honest, direct. And the other person, I think I'm gonna go with one for each one of you guys. The one you did say that was a curveball I was not expecting. The way you tell Megan and Kreltuan about the relationship, the way you phrase it and the way you say it, I was just like, I imagine it way differently. I'm more of a professional of, hey, this might be something you're interested, and just like literally saying, riding him into battle, and I was like,
I forgot about riding him into battle.
I remember the private chat on that one.
yeah, the phrasing of that, I was just like, okay, how do they think about this?
It
What
doesn't
is the
matter because
reaction?
she walked away.
And yeah, and you
really
walk
did?
away.
Like I just set off a bomb and didn't look back as it exploded.
that also was a point, just like
don't look at explosion.
my whole process of like in my mind being like, okay, what's gonna be the reaction? What's gonna be the reaction? How they're gonna say what they, and just like I walk away and like, just leave me with all of this mess. and I didn't let it out. So I'm
part
like,
of part of
okay.
why I just walked away was to save you. I'm not gonna lie. But the biggest reason that they walked away was because they were embarrassed about the facts that they had found. But they wanted to share it because they were trying to form at least somewhat of a if you have questions I will answer them relationship.
I think that's something that also they figure like they can ask, and the way you say it, I think it was not like, yes, ABC. Like you gave it a bit more of a personal meaning to, a bit of a hint of a personal meaning to that. So I think that in my head, of since then I've been thinking like, okay, what things have changed for them? Like you set up a new door to how they're gonna be developing. It's like, okay, this is an interesting, and I like that. It took me by surprise. And for Nulodius, I think the thing that has taken me by left has been overall, like I don't, it's not something that has been in game, but the little things you have put for me of like what is their backstory, what is their mindset, what is like the things in the room, the things that all the little things that make his personality have been things like I'm being like, okay, this is new. Like for example, the moss ball, like the moss ball, like okay, a moss ball. What am I gonna do with a moss ball? Like the moss ball.
What do I do with this?
Yeah, because like I kind of think like, okay, you guys tell me something, throw me something, or mention it. I'm like, okay, what can I do with this for fun? And you mentioned the moss ball, and I'm like, it's a moss ball. What can I do with a moss ball?
What do we do with the moss? Really, from the
Make it
relationship stuff, like the
magic.
body farm.
And it came to my mind, that idea. It was like, I know what to do with a moss ball.
I like how you've worked it in. I'm very curious because it was sort of just it was something that came up in when Faye and I were talking about our characters before stream started, that I mentioned he had one. He had a Marimo moss ball, and I think I just mentioned it offhand to you. So I'm excited to see that it's like it's in there.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting.
Really, I just Ray catching me real off guard with that body farm going on.
Listen, you're in space.
I don't
There's a
know why I
finite-
didn't think about it, but man, just suddenly out of nowhere that one day, just oh yeah, I'm gonna put these in the body farm.
composting bodies. Something like
How has this not come up before?
the science part of science fiction I am all about, and specifically the idea that on a spaceship you're in a closed environment and there's a set amount of biomass is fascinating to me.
It's better
and
than
like,
just, jettisoning it.
Yeah.
yeah, which we had to do for some of them because they were contaminated, but no, that's
Yeah, they were zombies.
yeah.
That's not going to come back and bite us in the butt at any time.
You don't
Space
wanna-
zombies?
Well, we're
Oh.
definitely far enough away from
Well.
the space zombies now.
I feel like the vast
Are we?
expanse of space.
What if that
I have
other
no
ship
idea.
Zombies
just like
there.
scoops them up like a freaking
Yeah,
vacuum?
I
what if
really
cleaner?
don't wanna
what if that
think
and
about
then
ghost
it.
ship
reanimates
gets them?
them, and then they use them as fodder to fight us with later.
Okay, you know what? I on that thought process, the ghost ship getting those zombies we jettisoned out and using them to repair the ship. Like the ship is actually made of people. Like just think about that.
It's manned by ghosts. There's ghosts on the ship.
Hey, there's
Tammy.
a hate. It's not a. That's a great point, Kelsey. It's a Roomba.
It's re-
It's a space Roomba.
I feel like the risk associated with releasing zombies into the void is smaller than the risk associated with growing your food in zombies. I
Yeah,
feel
yeah, I
like
don't
growing
disagree
your
with
food in
that.
zombies is
Honestly,
going
I
to
don't
have a more
disagree.
immediate and violent effect.
That's how you make more zombies.
That's how you make more
Exactly.
zombies.
amazing.
I already feel
I
like
think Secret
fungus is the
Space is
closest
really
thing
how
we
we're
have
going
to
for it.
zombies, and like
There is a zombie fungus that like kills ants and then takes it over as to spread its spores around the forest.
I can't believe this is the second time I've mentioned this today, but I think if we ever do discover extraterrestrial life, its social intelligence will most closely resemble either ants or fungus. That's my personal theory. It's the second time it's come
Well,
up in a conversation today.
mycelium is pretty dope.
Anyway,
But I actually have a question for everyone. Because Mac is actually based off of real world fiction in a concept. Did you base your characters off of something? Or a concept of something?
Is your character
Yeah.
based off of Malcolm Reynolds from Firefly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he is. He's
I
based
thought
off
so.
of he's partially based off of Malcolm Reynolds from Firefly, but also Amos from The Expanse.
I have not
That's
seen
why
it.
his last name is Amos.
Hmm.
Actually, his first name is Amos. His last name is Macintosh. You guys named him Macintosh. That's just what stuck.
It's Android, yeah.
Yeah, it's an Android. He can't interface with Linux.
spoiler alert: S is Linux.
Yeah, this is Linux. They can't interface, guys.
No, no.
Oh,
Yeah,
You
the
just
guys
broke
calling every
everybody.
day.
We just broke Faye's entire server. I don't know why, but that's the ship in your server too.
I know. That's the ship that we
Android
got.
is the ship in your server, and it's great.
So
So, I did not base K off of anything. I initially was actually gonna make K a doctor level of medical, of being able to heal everybody in the group, but when Sekran and I were discussing classes, it didn't work out that way. So I went with Space Bard. Because we were comparing everything. I was like, I was like, what's a space cleric? And he's like, well, I think Ray's doing a space cleric. I was like, okay, I don't want to have two space clerics, so let's do a space bard. And that's how I came up with K. That's it.
So I feel like I probably have had the longest character idea for this because Sekrain, it was like we were talking about things we want to do one day, and he was talking about Homeward and its space and ideas, and I was like, Sekrain, I have an idea for a space character, and I need it to happen. And what it was is that Ashley Johnson had just done the one shot for the mothership, I think, or the mothership hack, but the space one. And Liam O'Brien was playing a character that was a non-organic, and it was very much a heavy inspiration in the design processes for S. And now S is taken on his own thing, and has become his own character. But that was really kind of like, I need to play a biomechanical character in space, and if I don't, I'm going to explode.
Good news. Shut up to session 1. Session 0. There were 2 of us.
That was the funniest thing, is that me and Sky have never talked about our characters until session 0.
And we hadn't even really talked before. We'd met once.
And we come into session 0 of like, yeah, I'm playing an android with pink hair. And I'm like, huh?
Same hat?
And not even that.
We're both playing operatives.
We're both operatives.
We didn't know this going in at all.
Great.
I don't. I'm trying to. It's been just over a year since I made Melodious as a character, and I'm desperately trying to remember what the process was. I don't think consciously or unconsciously I've wrapped in Any characters? Any other characters as inspiration? Um, to the extent that I would say he's based off of any the only through thread being like 90% of the characters I play have some sort of unhealthy relationship to a deity. We don't have time to unpack that or what that means about me and my religious trauma, but that is definitely something I wanted for him as a character. Um, and then
Is that what
not,
the voice is?
huh?
Is that what the voice is?
Maybe.
Who
That'll
knows? Find out in season 2.
factor in later. But the one aspect I distinctly wanted from like sci-fi as a general overarching theme was the idea that you can look too far into space and just sort of lose your mind. I was like, I like this one. I'm gonna just gonna take that, put that elsewhere. It's something that I like a theme I ruminated on a lot when I was working on my thesis. In the total opposite direction, because instead of looking out into space, I was looking deeper and deeper into the Earth, and there's almost like a deep sense of unease combined with reverence you get when you're cutting open rocks that are 4 billion years old and being like, no living person has ever seen the things I'm seeing right now. It's a very sobering thing, and I sort of just wanted to project that outwards.
What are you eating, you little turd?
Okay.
It's like that. It's like that feeling, right?
Oh man.
Is that a good description?
Uh,
Stop.
Oh, little Sammy.
I was gonna like
He's
go
eating
off of that
stuff
because
he's
like
not supposed to.
I was very into marine biology at one point, especially like the
You're
deep
bad
sea
for
stuff,
child.
and it's like the further you go, the more inhuman, but uh just straight survivability, and the fact that most of our oceans are undiscovered because it's just that shit's crazy.
Like,
It's fucking deep.
It's great how much of my like weird past knowledge is coming into play with Mac, because I study criminology, and I always have criminology and sociology and criminal justice, and even criminal psychology has been something that I've always studied. And you never get to see because it's actually behind my camera, but I actually have criminal books. So Sekrin brings up shit sometimes and asks me questions, and I actually have an answer, and I don't know if Sekrin's ever expecting me to have answers to criminal-based questions.
You know, crime questions.
Be gay, do crime.
Be gay, do
Yeah. I don't know if anybody ever expects like there was a moment really early on about, and Mac just pipes up with, yeah, but ships like this can be used for smuggling without the government knowing, or if the government does know, they could be using this to move illicit activities as well. That wasn't just Mac knowledge, just spurting facts he subconsciously knows. That's Sky actually giving information. Like, that actually is sometimes how governments move dangerous materials, is through seemingly really innocent things.
Like NFTs.
So I have a
But
question
we don't
for
have
you
time to get
guys.
into that. Yes.
Ooh.
Was there another character race that you considered for your character, and why did you ultimately pick the one that you picked?
Not for me. I knew I was playing a biomech character, and I was not giving up on anything else.
Hmm.
I think there was at one point, and I want to say it's the race that Melodious is. And I ended up, yeah, I think it was the Lashunta. and I went with the android because with the backstory stuff that I sent Sekarine, the android works a lot better. And just from what you guys know, you'll see probably a lot more of it in season 2 when Max starts remembering things. It works a lot better with the android as the race than anything else.
Okay.
Being non-organic. So it really mine was a story aspect.
Yeah.
What about you?
I was gonna let Ray go first.
I'm trying to remember the name of the
Borai.
Kasatha. It was Kasatha.
Kasatha.
Because my first thought was like, space. We're in space. I'm gonna play the weirdest one. I'm gonna play a weird alien guy. And then I ended up not doing that. But it came down to a couple of them, and the deciding factor between Lashunta and Kasatha was ease of draw ability, which is, I feel like, a fairly inane reason I chose Lashunta, but the Kasatha, they got 4 arms, and I'm bad at drawing. So I went with the Lashunta. But I did know that I wanted. So as far as stats go, Null has a little bit of a mishy-mashy because of how the Borai race, I guess. It's more of a condition than it is like a base species or anything.
Racial augment.
It's a
condition of being undead.
It affects the racial bonuses and stats in a way that Sekarine and I had to homebrew slightly. So I knew that I wanted to play an undead character, and I was just trying to decide. I was between those two on which like base species they were gonna be. But this is a deep cut into my memory. I read a Star Wars novel when I was in like high school where there was a character who is a Twi'lek, and he had lost one part of his Leku, which are the tendrils, and that is where their brain is stored. So it like made him have hallucinations the rest of his life, which is I'm realizing now, this is tying into the last question, that it was the origin point of Melodius having one of his antenna damaged, which is those are for the Lashunta the organs that allow them to telepathically communicate. So that is going to have repercussions in the future. But that was one thing I did want to tie in, and that was one of the deciding factors in going with Lashunta.
Cool. I almost played a Vesk. I thought about doing a brawler type thing. Ultimately, I went with the Sheeran because I read more about them, and I thought that the concept of being freed from a hive mind and being like the next generation after the ones that were freed, and having that fear kind of put into them by their parents, but also understanding and having the biological, I'm making a choice and I'm getting a euphoric response from it, both funny and interesting. Because people often overlook the concept of our free choices. We never not have choices. We may not like the repercussions of our choices, but we never not have choices. So to play something that relishes in having those choices was just fascinating for my brain. And then I thought they also looked cool.
Yes.
Dope.
That's always a good reason.
Yeah.
Bug.
So, with a callback, Ray, you said something that it goes back to the question that I posed, a shocking moment. The undead, the fact that you had me, Sakurine, make the choice and the fact that you two were colluding on that, yeah, you go ahead and rub your little hands together. That that tripped me up so much in the moment. Like,
What if S decided, nah, he's dead, I'm out.
No, that's it.
You know, I love
we
that
all
this-
we all know that wouldn't be the case, but
wow.
like,
And my favorite part was that was
What-
the one
what
session that I
made
wasn't here
S-
for.
What made S actually revive him? Was he cute? Was it?
so
Yeah, what was that thought process? Because I wasn't here for this episode. This is the one episode that I wasn't here. I had COVID.
So Saccharine had posed it. I was running, and there was something about it. I heard the door was jammed, and I had seen a Lashunta, and it seemed like there was a connection there, but I didn't know what it was. So, just that there was some sort of recognition there. So I went off of that, as you know, I'm driven by adrenaline. There's paranoia. There's happening, and I know that I can work these computers at this point. Not well, but I know that I can do something. So I go over there, and it is in that moment, the fact where the explosion happens and Noel pushes me out of the way. And in that secondary wake up out of the explosion of like, all right, what just happened? And I see that there's this Lashunta that I recognized, that there was some connection there that is on the ground that just saved me. I was like, all right, I got to do something here. If I can, I'm going to try and save them. And so it's like, all right, I know basic medicine. I know how engineering works. I'm going to take a gamble. That's probably not going to work, but at least I can say I tried. Lo and behold, I roll well. Lo and behold, gets Noel back on his feet, and then we fucking bolt.
Hobble.
Yeah, hobble.
Hobble, yeah. 'cause
Hobble.
We didn't have your cane then. But yeah.
So here's a question that plays off of that. We have dealt with the possibility of death for us as characters a couple times. You two dealt with it in the very first episode, like the real possibility that your character's gonna die. I think Kay, you've dealt with death. I've dealt with it with the friggin' birds. Those birds that I will never get over. I hate those birds so much.
And the fact that we narrowly missed getting rocked by an earth elemental.
God, you so close to that. What's your plan if your character dies? What are you playing next, or what's your idea for a backup?
Don't know yet.
We'll
Personally, I
cross
don't
that
plan on
bridge when we
dying.
get to it.
I don't plan on dying.
If my
But-
character dies,
I'll
I
make
will
that
take a
brawler.
look. Yeah, I will take a look at what's happening story-wise and make something that is significant to the story at that moment. But I don't plan on S dying.
I'll make a fucking legionnaire. That's what I'll do.
just to mess with S.
Instant party
S is still-
distrust.
If S is still alive. But no,
Sus.
if I think I said it in an earlier episode, if Mac dies, I'll bring in a Bernary because I didn't know about the space otters. man.
There's an awful lot of races for Starfinder, and I love that, but I hate the way it is distributed in so many source books. So
It's a lot of like, I feel like if someone's just trying to get into Starfinder, having so many races, because it's not even just Starfinder races, you can bring in Pathfinder races as well. It presents a lot of choice paralysis.
There's so many choices because that was I spent a good 2 weeks when I was told that I was in this project and we were doing this and I was part of it. I spent a good 2 weeks just looking at that website.
yeah,
I didn't
like,
have
what
the
am I
website, I just had
playing?
the PDF for the book. For one book.
Yeah.
That's all I had to work with.
Sekrin was super nice, sent me the website with all of the stuff and said, okay, here. But then just left me alone.
yeah. There's things I could have done better there.
Yeah, it just kind of threw me into the deep end, and I was like, I've only played 5e, man. Okay, I'll try to swim. I've got this. Let's see what I can do. So I
Fighting me gets you
eventually
flicked in the head.
built. Okay, I'll take it.
Sorry.
Bring it, Theta. All right. But no, I just sat there for about 2 weeks. Any free time I had, I was looking at that website. If I was at break at work, if I was here at home, if I was even in other D&D sessions, I was still looking at this website going, what am I playing? What am I doing?
You were
What are
consumed
these
by
classes? What is happening? How do
Yeah,
I play Pathfinder? How do I play Starfinder?
yeah, that was a mistake that to this moment I'm like, I could have done better. I could have done better.
It worked out.
I'm just
I
grateful
sat
that
down
you
with a
guys
bunch
are
of other
all
people.
available for all the when we do level ups, because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with that still.
I had YouTube help me out on that.
I have people in a different server who've been playing Pathfinder since it started. Help me.
Anyway,
Not even kidding. Like,
Also,
shout out
before
to Sergeant Awesome, who shows up sometimes because he's the guy who helps me level up.
Amazing.
and for that question of if there's a player character that I have some hopes. First of
Yeah.
all,
What's your
you guys
plan
don't
if
have-
one of us
you want
dies?
to kill us? Is that what
Do
I'm
you
getting
want?
at here?
Do you want one of us to die?
No.
What's your
No,
plan if one of us dies?
I don't want
Either
anybody to
in-game or
die.
IRL.
I hope no player dead. Then I hope no player character dead.
Yeah, you hope none of the players die.
Yeah, but there's a point further in the story that because of story reasons I want it to be like a challenge.
Mhm.
And I hope at that moment there's enough story preparation and things that if there's a player a character that not a player, a character that there's ways that if the player wants to seeks like the resurrection of a character, it can be as something we look for. If not, there's options to choose, because right now it's just whoever's in the ship, and it's like, okay, gotta figure out.
Then the Lotus is putting you in the body farm.
You're going in the body farm.
Organic or
twist.
not, you're going in the body farm.
Plot twist. I'm not going in the body farm.
Going in you're going in the one of the recycling
smelters.
center.
Yeah, you just throw me into the recycles.
E-waste.
S is going in Melodius's room in a very special corner that nobody goes to.
I feel like if I'm going to the body farm, my parts are preparing the compost machine.
Still in death, S fixes shit.
Oh god.
Oh,
Noel's
God.
very special body composter's new favorite NPC.
I hate
If-
that.
Me too. As soon as I said it, I hated it.
I hate it, but I love it.
I have the
Can we
hope.
decorate the body composter?
Please don't. I'd hate
have
that.
the hope that because of how Nell is built as a character, if he is to tragically reach his end, since he already has the undead bit baked in there, I'm hoping Sephrain and I can come to an equitable solution for him to continue with consequences rather than just part and parcel starting over with a new character. But that's the sort of thing where we'll burn that bridge when we get to it. We'll see.
There's
Kay's gonna have made a bond with a Vesk. Not know it because we have all these memory problems.
Mm-hmm.
And that's gonna be my next character, and they're gonna be torn up, and they're gonna come find you guys and be like, "Where's Kay?"
Oh,
Suddenly I'm gonna come back. Suddenly Sky's gonna come back. I'm gonna be the Bonari from the bridge.
oh.
just
That's what's gonna be.
just do know that even if
I'm
your
making
character,
a joke. I'm making a joke,
Yeah.
by the way.
Same.
if any of your characters die, there's still going to be things that will be discovered about each character. Moving on, even if they're no
I
longer present.
hate that because I know shit.
This
There's just
means there's a
things.
plan.
I love
That
That
plans.
implies intent.
It implies intent.
So I think for one last question that at least I have to like kind of close up at this is, what is a thing in your character's room that will keep your character for hours confused?
Ooh.
My computer.
Well,
You
it
mean
already
other
has you
than Mac?
confused.
I don't know the password. I think that's confusing.
So, so it's not Mac in your room keeping you up at night confused?
Mac's no longer in my room. I gave him his room
That's
number.
true.
You're no longer my problem.
Here's
Get
your
out.
parole schedule. You're no longer my problem. Get out.
No, I think player isn't so confused about it, but character would be just all the secret hiding places that S has. Like, especially with that recent panic of like having to go through all the different cubby holes and hiding over and over and over again. A thing that would have him kind of like, while he's still trying to piece back all the memories, why do I have this? It's sort of touching on what Theta had brought up earlier of like, why is S so paranoid?
For Melodious, it is one of two things. It is either the altar in the corner of the room with candles and little figurines and shit on it. Very confusing. Or it's the fact that there's two of everything in his quarters. There's two armchairs. There's two pillows in the bed. There's twice as many cups as you would need for one person in a room. That's going to be very confusing too.
As soon
There's
as
two
he realizes
nightstands.
it. I don't know if Melodious has realized it yet.
He definitely noticed the two chairs. Like, that's a lot of chairs for one guy.
I think that's but it's like sometimes you don't want to sit in the first chair and you need something else
Just move it.
to rationalize anything.
He's had some stuff going on. He hasn't spent an overt amount of time thinking about it yet. There's been bigger issues.
Yeah. The Dying Star was the first one.
Dying Star. Well, Dying Null was the first one. Dying Star was the next
Yeah,
one.
my heart right
really.
there. Just another one in.
I think for Kay, it's two things. One, Squishy is an enigma.
Mm-hmm.
And two, the amount of knives of various sizes that they have
Oh my god.
is borderline unhealthy.
It's a lot of knives.
But they have the size ranging from like an X-Acto blade to a butcher knife, and they have like 3 drawers of them, and they're all organized very neatly now. They've had time to clean their room properly and find the correct space for where everything is supposed to go and get it all cleaned up. Yeah. They have like 50 knives.
That's quite a few knives.
Of
That's a
various, like I said, between the X-Acto knife size and a butcher knife, just everything in between, size-wise,
A
shape-wise.
knife for every occasion.
Well, and it's not. Some are very pointed, some are curved at the
Yeah, a
tip.
knife for every
A
occasion.
knife for every
Yeah.
occasion.
Anything they might need to carve food with, which is
Or kill a man.
or stab somebody.
Oh,
You could
for all-
fillet an aerial devil.
Exactly.
They
for all
could.
your slicing, dicing needs.
Today's a
From
sharp
that-
room.
Oh, Mac. Poor Mac. Poor sad Mac. Yeah, you could laugh. You could sit there and laugh. Throw this out there. Sky did not know what was going to be in the room. Did not know until that episode. Sekron straight told me he was not going to tell me what was in the room, where it was, what was in it. He was not going to tell me. So, as far as I know, there's nothing in the room except for that flask. So that's confusing as hell for Mac because he's been here for a while. Why isn't there anything in the room? Also, how do I get in and out?
Without S.
Yeah, that's another one.
That's
That's twofold from that. How do I open the door without us? Secondly, why is there nothing here? I've been here for months.
So before we close this out, I did promise that I would ask one question for behalf of Kelsey, who is from my server of Little Witch RP, a dear watcher, invested in this story. Kelsey wants to know if they'll ever get access to private chat logs from our in-stream private chat.
So there are no chat logs
Yeah,
for
what
that. Once the meeting ends, the chat log is wiped
Yeah.
completely. We are using Zoom to do our configuration of the screens, and then using Streamlabs to stream it, which is why I can't do anything on my screen over here. Because if I do, it'll pop up. Even my mouse, like here, my mouse is in my face now. It's just a thing.
Yeah.
So,
Trust me, you probably don't want to see it anyway.
It's
I,
a lot
I
of
don't know.
it's a lot of
It gets
dirty
weird.
jokes and like innuendos from what's being said.
Riding dragons
gets
into battle.
weird. Riding dragons into battle. Sad Mac having a panic attack was one of them.
Yeah, there's that. There's reactions. There's many like what the fuck going sometimes. There's so
Apparently,
many-
there's the times when like I'm like freaking out, and so my typing gets very sloppy, and they're telling me that I can't speak English.
Yeah. So if
I
you
don't
ever
speak face roll.
yeah, if you see me or yeah, just say like suddenly freak out, do the ending of the last sentence again, and I go over here, or Faye just goes down, we're probably typing in the private chat and we're freaking
Yeah.
out.
So for future sake, I can start saving those. Like I can copy it and then paste it into a folder, and then like
Yeah, I
a
was
Google
thinking.
thing. We can do that. But like a lot of times what is on there gets said in stream for the most part.
That too. There's many good jokes that are they just can't just stay over there, that we just throw it.
We break the walls. All right.
You shouldn't, because the void
We
waits
should
awaits at the other side of the wall.
we shouldn't.
The emptiness.
Mac really
of
shouldn't
space.
be asking about coffee, but whatever.
The void. I have a question for Sekrin too before we wrap anything up. Who is your favorite on-stream cat? Who is your favorite stream cat?
Who's your
Yeah.
favorite stream cat?
Tell us.
We know that it can't be my cat. My cat's not allowed on stream.
Mine only sometimes goes on stream.
Is it Ryu, Sammy, or actually no, it's just
Phoenix.
Ryu or it's basically just my cat or Ray's cat.
Oh, there's my cat. My cat's been on stream.
Yeah, it has been a couple of
Robin's
times.
been on stream, yeah.
Oh god, that's another fair question. I think I have
Hey,
to go
Chat,
for.
feel free to chime in on who's your favorite stream cat too.
Yeah,
There's
I
Mr. Mew,
think-
there's Ryu, and Robin.
I think I have to go for Mr. Mew. I
Oh.
think. I
I'll accept
I
Mr. Mew.
adore-
Mr. Mew's adorable.
I adore all the cats, but I think just in general how soft meowed Mr. Mew is. Like, he's a big boy and he's just like,
He's so big.
oh, there's Ryu.
Soft meow, big purr.
Big cat.
He looks like he should sound like meow.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He does not.
So, just to throw more questions to Sekren, just to keep him at this uncomfortable state.
Oh,
Who's
God.
been your favorite player to just mess with? Just whether or not you've done it intentionally.
God damn. I don't know.
Just throw a player for a loop.
I don't know. I enjoy the reaction of each one of you. How there's a different approach to each one. Like, I don't mess the same way with Ray Melodious than I do with Sky Mac, that I do with S Faye, than I do with Theta K. Oh, I don't know. it. I think the one I've been like kind of a bit more eager to, if I have to put a choose one, has been Lenolodius. Is the one that I've been more like, the other ones are like, okay, this is a plan, and this is like more like a segmented thing of what I want to do. But for Nulodius, the things I've thought, I just end up grinning, and it's just like, just not like face like ear trip, but just like
The DM is smiling. You should be scared.
yeah, it's
As a DM myself, with what I know of Melodius, just as me and Ray having planned our characters, and with what I can imagine has gone over to Saccharine, as a DM, I can appreciate and understand where Saccharine is coming from with those like thoughts of planning. Like, because if I had gotten a similar thing, I'd be like scheming so hard. But
I've
that's
done
just
it.
me.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's so much
I
fun.
just must be weird because I don't try to screw with my players. They screw with me.
Yeah,
It's not so much that I'm trying to screw with my players in a way that is like, oh,
Like,
I see that you
intentional.
made.
I don't mean it in malicious way.
Yeah, it's
But,
never
like-
intentional.
I think the most I've ever no, they always mess with me.
Yeah,
every
see,
time.
like
Yeah.
I try and like
Yeah, we do.
twist someone's thought. Like I try and get into like how I expect a person to approach a certain situation from their character because of based on their build or how they've played it. I don't try and like see, oh, you've built this character, I'm about to like just
Just tear
downlock.
you down.
Yeah, it's like, all right, so
No.
here's a situation that I'm going to play out for your character, and you're probably going to hate me afterwards, but it's going to be character growth.
Mm-hmm. But
Yeah.
I
like
need to learn how
Saccarine's
to do that. So I need to get with you, Gabby, so you can train me how to be a better DM. Because otherwise, I
Saccarine's
have
thrown me.
thousands of birds or hundreds of birds going, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay,
Okay.
to one of
I
my
am
players.
I am
Saccarine's
sorry.
thrown me for a loop so many times, just like out of the clear blue. It's like, oh, Mac, you're remembering something. And I go, because that's where you get the reactions of Sky going, I hate it when you say my name like Saccharine.
I also that
Absolutely hate it.
I have also find out what is the tone I need to go for memory time. Like that's something I don't know where, but it's like, yes, I nailed the tone. And again, it's just I don't want to screw you guys like in like I'm gonna put you something that is bad. Like for example, if a player is resistant to fire, oh, I'm not going to use fire anymore. Like I would be like, you're gonna have encounters where like fire is prevalent, so you're like, I am very useful, and I can bring my abilities and the way I think to the combat or to any situation. Like as much as I feel like, god damn, those fucking computer rolls from Gab are stupid high, and there's a part of me that's like, god damn, that's stupid. There's also a part of me that's like, great, like
Piloting checks.
that is exactly what I want. Like you guys feel powerful in the things that you are going for, but
Diplomacy, intimidation. That's all I got.
Let's like a reference. I've got Max character sheet. Max piloting. If I do not roll, you just ask me for the modifiers and everything. It's 17.
Yeah.
That's just the piloting.
and that is exactly like I already move a bit away from like putting the challenge for those things, because I imagine you guys as characters will definitely win on your respective areas, and it's fine.
Only way that I don't expect a computer's roll to go well for me is if I roll a natural 1.
Same.
So I've got a plus
piloting,
15.
With that plus 17, I'm like, I don't expect to fail. The only way I expect to fail is rolling a 1, which is totally possible.
Oh yeah, which I think would be hilarious. Let me fail forward, please.
Yeah. I'll fail piloting the ship carrying thousands of lives.
So because I messed up when making my character sheet, and Saccharine said just don't add any more to it until you hit that level. My diplomacy is stupid.
We love a stupid diplomacy.
Yeah, but we love it.
we love it so much.
The base roll, if I rolled a nat 1 plus my rolls, I have a minimum of 21.
Yeah, because you also have like an extra D6 that you can just add
yeah,
to it.
I have the
at
extra.
any
It's
point.
so great.
My
Love it.
maximum possible roll is like a 40. No, 46.
Yeah, like Mac natural 20 on a pilot check is 37.
Goofy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
And
These
it's
are
great.
for my 5e brain, these numbers are stupid.
Right?
They're stupid.
But on the
Yeah.
flip side of things, if I was to try to roll, let's do athletics for a strong example. I could roll a 3
Yeah.
very easily. If I nat 1, it's a 3.
If I'm
If
remembering
flipping it-
correctly,
I roll diplomacy, 2.
Right.
if I'm remembering correctly, isn't S one of the strongest, if not the strongest, in the party?
Yep.
I
Like,
think you are
physically?
one of
Physically.
Oh yeah.
physically. I think you are one of them. I think yours. What are you, like a 16,
I'm 14.
18?
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So
We
my
okay.
Dex is a 17. Dex is my best
20.
score. Yeah, I know you
I
got a
am.
20.
Mine is stupid.
My
Don't worry,
charisma
chat.
is a 20.
My
Yeah.
yeah, my charisma is my horrible, terrible stat is
It's
a
your
6.
dump stat.
It's a 6.
Oh.
That's why Mac can't talk.
Man, I
He's
must
smart.
have rolled really,
just
really
can't
well,
talk.
Secrane.
Yeah, you did.
I
I remember
did all
in
my
general.
rolls in front of him.
Mhm.
My lowest stat on my sheet is a 14. I don't know
Yeah.
how I did it.
In order, mine is 18, 20, 15, 18, 15, 6. One of those things is not like the other.
Yeah, my lowest is an 11, and I put it in wisdom.
That's fun.
Mac is capable and he's smart. He can't communicate, which, we figured out real
Making
quick.
Socially awkward characters is so much fun. Like,
I love that I've got a 12 charisma, and I feel like a 12 charisma shows when I play S. Like, S can exist in a social situation and be fine, but very much just shuts down. Like, when conversating's done, it's like, all right, cool, I end the comms, I'm done.
Mm.
But then on the flip side, you have Mac with a 6 who just looked at S and just went, yeah, no, I like hearing you talk, and then just ran out of the room.
So, on that note, we do have, and I don't think it's been any sort of surprise. We do have what looks to be a love triangle forming here of interest. Because not only has Max said, "I like listening to you talk" to S. S has said those same words to Null.
I didn't know this.
So this was back in when we were preparing for the what's it called? It was either when we were preparing for the planet side trip, or when we had first found Null's room, because it happened in Null's room.
Yeah, it happened like a long time ago. But Mac doesn't know you said that.
Yeah, but it was just very much a the whole like, no, it's fine, I like listening to you talk. And it's like, to have that mirrored, it was very interesting. I appreciated that.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why Sky did it. But one of the reasons like this triangle is even happening is because of your server. And I love your server so much that I've done this.
Ah, yes.
So there you go, face server. Pink androids just for you guys.
Ships inside the ship.
The ship's in the ship. Wow.
Huh,
Shipception.
almost like it was planned.
Oh.
Shipping ships in a shipping ship. Shipping
I've-
ships.
Who just
Finally got
K-ship?
my stats pulled up. Not to derail us back to an old topic, but I definitely put all of my big points into my soft stats. I've got my highest is the wisdom at 19. My lowest is my strength of 8. Cool.
and
Your lowest stat is still better than Max.
to answer your question, I mean, Kay has scared Mac. Kay has insulted, unintentionally, but she still did, Melodious. And she has a scanner from S who was like, hey, just warn me next time.
I say this every time after every session, but I love the way that K and S interact. I absolutely adore K as a character.
Honestly, one of the best moments.
Just
is
like
Kay scaring Mac for me, because that was just so perfect and on point.
I see like a very sort of strange friendship born from that scanner swap from K and S that I'm very excited for. But again, I see it's like a very kind of like strange escalation because like K is just like, what do I do? And S is like, I don't really talk to you guys.
Yeah, and I think that's the funny part of it is if K was gonna have a ship, I think it would also be S, which is the funny part. But it's at the same time, K is...
It's just so likable.
Well, I'm trying to figure out the right word for K because they are non...
Mm-hmm.
What's the word I'm looking for, guys? Help me out.
Asexual?
Romantic?
Yeah.
No.
There's no
They're-
romance there.
Aromantic then.
They're aromantic,
aromantic.
asexual. Yeah,
And,
they're arrow A's, basically.
I mean, K is a host as far as the three genders of a Sheeran. So they are capable of producing children, but they can, they don't want to. At least they didn't before. Part of joining the ship, I think, for Kay may have been to get away from this expectation of being a host.
Mm-hmm.
And I say may have been because I haven't really thought about it till right this very second.
Glad we made you think of it.
Yeah. Character development.
Yeah.
In Q&A.
Character development.
Woo!
Woo!
So that could be
But
something
yeah.
you can work on, Sekrain. I don't know.
Let's just
we've
make more
talked a
work
lot
for
about
Sekran.
Kay. Well, he and I
I-
have talked a lot about Kay recently because I'm trying to figure out the direction to take my character. Because even I don't know what to do with her.
Any direction is a good direction for me. I'm a K stan.
Same. We just love her. Them.
Well-
It.
We
Bug.
love our special K.
What pronouns do you
We
use
love
for
our
bug?
special K.
Oh my god. Kay
Next,
is
I'm
now
gonna
a
buy a
brand
box of
cereal.
Special K. Hold
Not
on, I need to
sponsored.
I'm gonna buy a box of Special K. Can I have the art for K so I can put it on the box?
Can I just...
That's gonna be behind me in season 2.
God damn
Can it be the
it.
one that has strawberries in it? No, I'm teasing.
Yeah, sure.
The best
It's at my
one.
Walmart. Send me the art. I'll stick K's picture on the box.
Just like a million cutouts of K's head.
Yeah, I'll sit here and do it. I'll do it on camera.
Uh,
That's
Oh
okay.
my gosh.
I have it here on the stream. I have to see if I can still find it for my actual source art. So we'll go from there. Honestly, I only ever got 2 pieces of art, one for me and one for Faye, which is why they're not actually on the stream anymore, because I didn't think it was
Our-
fair to only have 2.
Our artist kind of.
Got a job. Like,
He
Real
he,
job.
he went gently into the night, but to work.
yeah, he went gently,
Went gently
into
into that
second-
working
or
night.
into third shift,
Oh god.
Yeah.
and he's been working thirds for a while now.
Yeah.
But I hear from him every now and then. He tells me he's alive, so that's good.
Same.
Maybe one day we'll have the other 2. Who knows?
Any other artists out there? Hit us up.
Any other artists? Feel free.
Fan art, go!
Woo!
Everyone with S in the middle, as paranoid as he is, apparently.
No, You have to realize
Indeed.
though,
Send us fan art. It's fine. We love it.
Kay's relationship with S is more like Baymax with the cat.
No.
Like just there.
They're there.
I think-
Furry baby.
I think that's actually going to be
Baby.
really great for us once we start getting more memories from him. Because wow, the things that go on in S's mind.
Oh, and Mac too. It's gonna be great.
We, yeah,
Kay isn't
there's
sure how to handle Mac because Kay still wants to know what else is in Mac's file. That is
Mac wants to know what else is in Mac's file.
I'm just
Does it
imagining like
complicated?
Kay's got like the work order ticket for whenever they need S to break into something. It's just like,
Tech
hey, I got
support.
another one.
Do you want to know about
And-
Mac? I have this. I
I
can't
mean,
get
I already
into
know. I already know Mac's parole
This is-
schedule. What else could I learn?
it. This has
Stuff
a
Mac
lot
doesn't
more
even
in
know.
it, I'm sure.
All right, I'll be right there.
Here's stuff that Mac doesn't even know about himself.
Just
Cool.
sends the weirdest file out to Mac, and it's like, hey, Kay's got him arrested.
in fact you didn't know about Mac.
S would like just send like a file folder
It wouldn't even be the
through
full
like
file.
email.
It would be the same way that I sent the single thing over the data pad. It would be like, all right, what's something that's eye grabbing with no context? Cool, and then like right on it with a digital pen, CK for more.
It's just clickbait.
Yeah,
Oh god.
Mac into going to Kate's office, and that's perfect because he would.
so
This perfect is just set immediately. It's like, what? Okay,
Criminals on board the Drawlark. Number 7 will make you shit bricks.
exactly. And then it'll
anyone's
just go
gonna
to
find
Kate.
out about all 7+ criminals is gonna be us.
All right.
God,
Man,
I
that's
want
gonna
to
be
see
great
more
finding
about
out.
that.
Fun. But
Yeah,
I think
I
it's
had
a
a
good
lot of
time to wrap
fun.
up.
I
Yeah.
think we covered all of our questions.
I think we
Yeah.
covered Jazz
Does anybody
questions.
have any other questions that they want to ask us before we tune out for the evening?
Yeah.
How
like-
ready are
give
you
a-
guys for season 2?
Oh, it needs to be here already.
I got.
How
I got
excited
shit
are
going
you?
on.
Needs to be here already.
I shit going on.
It's almost
I can wait.
Christmas, and I went to flip my calendar, forgetting that it's a freaking December,
It's
and
December.
I can't flip my
I can wait.
calendar.
I can
I
wait.
Get a new calendar.
I'm going to explode.
I can't wait. It's gonna be so much fun.
I honestly, I knew I was
I'm gonna
going
miss
to
seeing you guys.
I knew I was going to like Starfinder in this campaign. I did not know I was going to love it as much as I do. Which is saying something to our DM, saying something to our cast, because like
Aw,
this
thank you.
is I absolutely adore this game.
I am going to miss seeing all of your guys' amazing faces every other Thursday until this game starts again. Even yours, Sekran.
Wow. That
I'm
was
gonna
an
miss
insult.
your face too. I'm gonna miss your face, Sekran.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you all for joining us tonight. Does anybody have anything to plug before we head out?
Always.
Go for it, Gabby.
All right.
Go!
So, hi guys, I'm Faye. We had a great time chilling out about here. But if you want to find out more about me, I do have my server, Wildwitch RP. You can find out more about us at our website, wildwitch.com. That's going to be WILDEWITCH.com. It's got all the places that you can find us on the internet, the invite link to our Discord where you can come hang out and play all sorts of 5e games. We've got 3 games every day, Monday through Saturday. And yeah, cool things. We have released our holiday specials. We got a holiday prize drawing for a fully custom magic item. All find out on our website and in our Discord.
Yay!
Yay!
Woo!
My only plug before we go is if you are in the path of Winter Storm Elliott, be careful and for the love of God, stay off the roads if you can. It's gonna be real rough
Stay
out
warm.
there. Stay safe.
Yeah.
Stay warm.
Yeah.
Stay safe, stay warm, stay inside.
Stay inside,
Have a
yes.
great holidays. Yeah.
Yeah, happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays to everybody.
Yeah.
Wow,
Can't
happy
wait to be
holidays.
back next year.
Wow.
Happy
Guy,
New Year's.
2023, we're gonna be back.
All right.
2 weeks.
I